Today on Monkey Life. Reunited after 2 months apart, Hananya's gang are finally back together.
It's important for the group, it's important for Kiki, and it's an exciting day.
A mother's work is never done. Jeremy gets the night shift again.
There, nick of time.
And Capuchin Tau proves a hit with the ladies. Monkey World in Dorset is the largest sanctuary of its kind on the planet. The team, led by Dr. Alison Cronin, rescue and rehabilitate primates from all over the world.
Smells a bit macaque in there, but yeah, we're good.
The park is home to more than 240 monkeys and apes from 17 different species. It's a big day for Hananya's group. For the first time in 2 months, they're all going to be back together. They had to be separated because a new chimp joined their community. Kiki was rescued from the Lebanon where she'd spent 8 years stuck in a tiny cage at the side of a road.
Nothing's ever straightforward on these. Fingers crossed.
She's been slowly integrated into Hananya's group. Having never known other chimps, Kiki had no idea of chimpanzee politics, and it's been a steep learning curve for her.
She's been here just over 8 weeks now, so not very long really, but she's met every member of the group and been with all sorts of combinations of animals, is moving well inside, is confident in the outside enclosure. And so now it's really a time to put the whole group together so that we can maximise the space for them and they can all get used to being a group again with the addition of one new animal. I think it's very hard to predict today, really, and it is a nervous time for us all because it is a big jump for Kiki.
After such a long time apart, staff are expecting the chimps to jostle for position and to re-establish old bonds. First to emerge are the higher rankers. They're happy to be outdoors, but with so many staff around, quickly realise something is going on. Boss Hananya wastes no time in displaying and asserting his dominance, while second-in-command Tico has a more leisurely approach. Most of the group are outside now, but there's no sign of the new girl.
Cakes!
She is tempted for a moment, but then retreats, staying close to the chimp she feels most comfortable with. Patricia keeps Kiki amused with her balancing skills, while Johnny is happy just to play. Kiki's done well to align herself with Johnny, as she's quite a high-ranking female. Outside, the rest of the group are getting used to being back together again. Cherry is trying to impress everyone with her hose-walking skills. Tootie follows, but needs a bit more practice. Shamak wants to find out what's going on back inside. Kiki doesn't seem in any hurry to move, especially now she has the attention of lowest-ranking male Arthur. Shamak looks like he's trying to coax her out. But with the top chimps, led by Hananya, still reasserting themselves, it may take her a while to find the courage to join them. Like Kiki, elderly squirrel monkey Fidget has had to learn about social hierarchy. He was rehomed last year after being kept as a pet for 20 years. In squirrel monkey society, females are usually dominant, so being the only male in the group, he's the lowest ranking, but has settled in well. Today, he and the 4 females in his group are having special treatment.
We've got a box of wax worms. This is the squirrel monkey's chocolate. It's their absolute favourite thing. In the wild, they spend a lot of time foraging around for insects. They forage in any kind of cracks and crevices they can find. So by doing this, we're hoping that they'll kind of try and replicate that behaviour a bit by going inside and getting the bugs out. And also, it's just a bit of enrichment for them, so it's a bit of fun and something completely different for them. You coming, Fidge? Go on, have a look.
Group leader Alien, along with Topsy and Turvy, are quick to tuck in. Unlike Fidget, who's rather reticent.
Oh, go on, Fidge. It's all right. If the girls kind of go away and disperse a little bit, hopefully he will then come over and have a little bit of an investigate himself and see what's going on.
The pumpkin is proving very popular with the girls. Samantha is a low ranker in the group, but has grown in confidence since she was rescued a few years ago.
You gonna go get some, Sam? Once she decides that she's going to go for something, especially if it involves insects, then she just gets straight in there and gets tucked in.
Fidget hovers on the sidelines, but doesn't dare disturb Samantha when she's plundering the pumpkin.
Fidget has got an absolutely brilliant personality. Everyone here absolutely adores him. It's the socialisation that he's kind of lacking, so within the group he is the quieter member. The girls definitely kind of rule the roost.
With most of the tasty treats gone, Samantha now has her eyes on a bigger prize. She's had enough of being spied on.
She's going to try and eat the camera in a minute.
And tries to dismantle the camera. Thanks, Sam. Like the squirrel monkeys, the park's first ever patas monkey is also rather elderly.
She's very beautiful.
Jeremy has just brought 18-year-old Mitsa back from Slovenia, where she'd lived as a pet. She'd been kept in a cage for the last few years because she'd become aggressive towards her owner.
Very soon she will have another patas monkey, and then she will be... That's what she wants. Really, that's what she really wants.
Mitsa's been at Monkey World now for about 3 or 4 days, over the weekend really, and it's been really, very nice. We've had some time for her to settle in and relax and get used to a few new faces, a completely new language, of course, the sights and smells of the new neighbours who are a bit of a force to contend with, and, just getting used to everything new in her life here. So it's been quite nice that Mitsa's had the weekend to settle in, but it's now Monday and it's time to get started again, and the next change in her life is her companion is arriving later today. So we're all quite excited about it and hoping that Mitsa's actually settled in enough that she's prepared to deal with a new face and life in her life.
Mitsa's new friend is called Sissy Joe. She's been living at the monkey sanctuary in Cornwall for the last few years. Like all primates, patas monkeys are social animals and need company. In the wild, they live in female-dominated groups and can run very quickly, reaching speeds of up to 55 kilometers an hour.
Just mind banging it.
Staff from the monkey sanctuary in Cornwall have travelled with Sissy Joe to Dorset to make sure she settles in. Sissy Joe did have a partner, but he died, and she's lived on her own ever since.
She's quite a stubborn old lady, bit of a set in her routines, likes to do things her own way, tells us off if we do something she doesn't like. She generally likes sitting and eating. They're her favourite pastimes, I would say, being a bit of an older lady, but she likes pottering, having a little bit of a forage, a little bit of a sunbathe, eat a little bit more, and just, generally just potter around, really.
Sissy, good girl, come on, sweetheart. That's a good girl. Good girl, Sissy.
Sissy Joe happily leaves her travel crate and soaks up her new surroundings. Mitsa is showing an interest, so the team let her into a room next to Sissy Joe. But Sissy Joe hardly seems to notice Mitsa.
She doesn't care. That doesn't hold any weight with her. It's sort of all fingers crossed because you've got 2 older ladies who have a whole world of baggage and history that each of them bring with them. And you just don't know how it's going to turn out. You assume that the two monkeys will want to be together and have companionship, but you know, a lot of the time when people get older and set in their ways and a bit grumpy, that doesn't always work out that way. Good girls. Brilliant. Rock solid.
First signs are promising, so Alison and Jeremy decide to take it one step further and allow them to meet properly.
Okay, the choice is now hers. She's very delicate, and the posture just is always so perfect. It kills me.
Mitza is desperate to be friends, but Sissy Joe appears rather aloof.
Oh, look, please be my friend. We always try and take the monkey's lead, so as soon as we got here, Mitza looked really excited, so let's open the doors, and Sissy Joe's been there, done that before, so she's yawning, displaying her teeth, you know, doing dominance things, and it's just gone brilliantly. Sissy Joe's holding court, looking the dominant individual, and Mitza's just covering her head to toe, grooming every inch of her, and I think is not going to look back and simply doesn't care about us anymore. So really pleased for both monkeys that for their remaining years, and it's only going to be a few more years that each of them has left, but they'll be together and be able to live a nice, calm existence here, trouble-free, as long as the handbags don't come out. Oh, she's got nipples in there and everything.
At Hananya's enclosure, the chimps are still on their guard. This is the first day they've all been together for 2 months because of new arrival Kiki, so the higher rankers have been keen to reassert their dominance. Kiki, meanwhile, is still reluctant to venture out and join them. This is a big deal for her. Until now, she's only been with a few chimps at a time, so facing the whole group at once must be daunting.
At first, obviously, we were all outside because we're interested and excited about what's happening, but also to obviously keep an eye on her if she did come out. But I think that's actually making her apprehensive about coming outside because she's probably worried that we're going to shut her out. So we've just backed off now so that she can come out in her own time and she doesn't feel pressurised.
Once the staff have backed off, the chimps seem to relax, and Shamak, who's been trying to coax Kiki out, followed by Hananya, Simon and Tico, head inside. Hananya begins to throw his weight around and stomp his feet to remind everyone, including Kiki, that he's the boss. Next, it's Peggy's turn to put Kiki in her place. When she has a second go at her, Kiki proves she's no pushover. And finally plucks up the courage to venture outside. But then changes her mind. Simon is in high spirits, which freaks Patricia out. Peggy and Valerie come over to show solidarity. The chimps have re-established the pecking order. Kiki seems to sense this and is finally persuaded outside by her closest friends.
Oh, Trudy's playing. Oh, she wants Trudy to go back in.
Although Kiki then manages to convince Trudy and some of the others that inside is where the fun is to be had.
It's still fairly early days, 8 weeks. It's not very long to forge friendships with animals that have been together for years and years. Kiki's been amazing and she's surprised us all how quickly she's learned and how confident she is. So she's been an amazing animal. We're really impressed with her and I think this was the right group for her and I think she's got a bright future here.
Capuchin Tau is also getting used to his new surroundings after being rescued from Slovenia. Like Patas monkey Mitsa, he'd been kept as a pet, and his owners asked the park to rehome him because they were concerned he was losing weight and developing behavioural problems.
Tau's, when he first arrived, was quite sort of shaky and did seem to struggle a bit with moving around. He has shown improvement over the last few days, particularly. We've put in a lot more ramps and things for him as well, which has helped. But yeah, he's moving around a lot more. This will all help him in the long run because it'll help him build up the muscles that he should be using. Yeah, hopefully with time he'll improve and be moving more like a Capuchin should.
Tau has a hunched back and shoulders because he suffered from rickets when he was younger, after being kept in a basement with very little natural light. Capuchins come from South America. They need sunlight because it helps to produce vitamin D3, which is particularly important for primates when they're growing and their bones are developing. A lack of exercise has added to Tau's problems. The team are concerned about his weight, so are now busy feeding him up.
Tau's shown a lot of improvement with his eating. He's particularly favouring a lot of the juicier fruits, so he really loves his oranges and his melons. But he also quite likes the insects as well, which is great because we're trying to build him up a bit more. So any protein we can get into him's a good thing at the moment. So yeah, his favourites usually waxworms and mealworms, so he gets a lot of those.
The Capuchins at the park can be rather boisterous. As Tau has lived on his own for such a long time, staff have decided to ease him in gradually and are keeping him separate for the time being.
Tau's got an absolutely lovely character. All the primate care staff down there have just fallen in love with him because he's, particularly now he's coming out of his shell a little bit more, he's very friendly. He's, you know, always sort of saying hello when you go to leave and he starts flirting away. So, yeah, he's a very friendly lad.
And it's not just the staff he's been flirting with. The girls across the way are getting some attention too.
Tau's has got a long way to go, but things are looking quite positive for him, so we'll just have to cross our fingers that he continues to improve the way he has over the last few days.
The primate's bedtime is long past, but for Jeremy, the day is far from over.
All good? OK, let's go and feed the little one.
Every evening, he returns to the centre to check on his latest charge. With the rest of the monkeys and apes fast asleep, Jeremy makes his way to the orang nursery on the far side of the park. At 11 months, Silvestre, like any other baby, is grouchy until he's had his late-night milk feed. The little orang has recently been rehomed here from a zoo in Spain because his mother didn't feed him. Jeremy has now taken on the responsibility.
We boiled the water up earlier, put a bit of baby rice in the milk. But he does like the banana-flavoured baby rice. Yep, that'll do. It's funny, some like it almost hot and some like it sort of like tepid, and it's really peculiar, the individuals, and he doesn't like it very warm at all, do you, Puppet? There you go. There, nick of time. I do this through the mesh deliberately because the less contact we have with him physically, the easier it's going to be for him to become an orangutan. If I let him sort of cling on to me, then it's quite traumatic and stressful for him when I pull away. I don't grudge him having a cuddle, and he does get cuddles during the day, but limiting his human time makes him have more value in the time he has with the other orangs. He actually generally has a full bottle first thing, which is 7 o'clock in the morning, and then now, which is 9 o'clock at night, 9 or 9:30, and that's 260 mils. And then he has another, generally has another full bottle during the day, but sometimes he doesn't drink all of the one during the day. You're supposed to drink it, not breathe it. You're supposed to inhale it, you idiot.
Silvestre is now sleeping in a bedroom with Jolie, Linga and Dinda.
He says, you come in here in the middle of the night, wake us all up, and I don't get nothing. You don't get something. Generally find a little treat for you. But what other thing that happens in here is somebody always pinches all the bedding. He always sleeps on the floor, which is sensible because we've got underfloor heating. He's fading now. His little eyes are going. It's all right, you can all clear off. It's bedtime.
Jeremy wants to make sure Silvestre gets some of the wood wool to snuggle up in.
Now, there's plenty there for everybody. He says, I've had my bottle. He says, bugger off, I'm going to sleep now.